thrifting at Goodwill today. Right after I entered, I found this hand-picked section. It's been here for a while. I think most Goodwills have one. I don't usually pay a whole lot of attention to this area, but today I decided that I would just peruse and take a little look. Found some interesting things. I didn't end up picking up anything to purchase from this section, but I think the whole purpose of this area is they're choosing to put their items that they think are a little more desirable over here, and the items in this section seem to be pricier than items in other areas of the store. Moving right along, I took a couple of minutes to just look around the wall signs, as well as the larger items that can go on walls. I found this mirror. It's a pretty hefty mirror. I did pull it out, as you can tell, and it was heavy when I was pulling it out. I felt like it would be beautiful if I took the time to paint it white, but ultimately these little dots that were on it were kind of throwing me a little bit. I just wasn't looking for like a vintagey vibe if I was going to purchase this and put the effort into turning it white, so those dots were just a no from me. And the top of it was a little more ornate than I was wanting, so ultimately it stayed there. I perused the larger wall hangings for a little bit longer. Wasn't really looking for anything too particular in this location, but always like to give it a look over. You never know what you're going to find. I often look for things here, either for my home or for my classroom. Now I'm moving on to the men's pants area. Every time I go to Goodwill, I always take a minute to just go through the men's pants, and I look for any pants that would be a good fit for my husband. Now that he is in a profession where he needs to dress a little bit nicer, and it's just great to pick up pairs of pants to add to his collection whenever I can, and so I take a minute to just peruse the area. But he is a very common size that I don't find super easily. These pants really threw me off. A 34 by 29, I don't know what's going on with them. They were looking great, and I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll be grabbing these, and then I saw the length was 29 inches, and I just, that was a no. So we moved on. I found multiple LL Bean items while I was here on this particular evening. These pair of pants were new with tags, not a good fit for my husband, so they stayed. But if you're not familiar with Goodwill or you don't go very often, they do often have LL Bean items. I will note that they are typically priced a little bit higher than other items because of that name brand. I found these boots while I was at Goodwill. Very excited about them. I don't typically buy a lot of shoes from Goodwill, but I tried these on. They felt good. As you can see, I'm walking around the store in them. That's a little pro tip I have for you. If you find a pair of shoes and you're considering purchasing them, wear them while you're doing the rest of your shopping. So visit the shoes first, put on a pair that you think you want to purchase, and then wear them while you walk around the store to really get a good feel for whether they are going to be comfortable for you. This lighthouse happened to catch my attention because my family and I just set a bucket list goal of visiting every lighthouse in Maine. And while this is not a Maine lighthouse, it just felt relevant to that goal that we recently set. So took a minute to check it out. It is pretty detailed and I liked it, but it stayed there. Any Looney Tunes lovers? Tweety Bird is from Looney Tunes, right? Pretty sure I'm correct on that. This was super cute. I haven't seen anything like this. I did not bring it home. I don't have a need for it. I try to live my own version of minimally, and so this just did not need to come with me, but found it cute and needed a minute to just really check it out. I found a couple of anchor items while I was at Goodwill, and those also caught my attention. I have an anchor tattoo in honor of my grandfather who served in the Navy, and so those items just really caught my attention too. Ultimately didn't bring them home, but took a minute to peruse and look at them. I am now checking out the kids' clothes. I also do this every time I come to Goodwill. My children's wardrobes are thrifted, just like my own and just like my husband's. I prefer to purchase items secondhand anytime I can over new for a variety of reasons. One, because it is a lot more cost effective, and two, because I'm giving a second life or a third life even, or maybe beyond that, to items that are still in great shape. And yeah, so looking through the kids' items, found a couple of things. This came home for Charlie. I put it on the handle of my cart because it was a item I was thinking about for a while. It does end up actually in my cart and going home with us later. Also grabbed this for Charlie. Definitely too big right now, but she will grow into it and super cute. Another thing that I really appreciate about thrifting my kids' clothes at Goodwill is that I often find really unique pieces. And that feels exciting to me because I know that they are not going to be wearing the exact same thing as everyone else. And these items are much less expensive than I'm sure they would have been if I were to purchase them new myself, because a lot of times I think they've come from boutiques or smaller clothing type stores because they often are brands that I have never heard of. And yet another thing that I love about thrifting my kids' clothes at Goodwill is that I don't feel like I need to put pressure on them to keep them in great shape, because ultimately I know I didn't pay too much for them, and so I feel like they can just be kids, and if they get holes in them or stains in them, it's not the end of the world and we will move on. I found this shirt for Eli and it felt like the perfect fit. He is a soccer kid through and through, and actually at the time that I am doing a voiceover for this video, he put this shirt on for bed tonight because he is in the habit of trying to work smarter, not harder, and he wears the clothing that he's going to wear to school the next day when he goes to bed at night. So he put this shirt on and he said to me, "Mama, I don't even think this is my shirt." And I said, "It is, it's new, I got it for you from Goodwill." And he was like, "Oh, nice, I love it." So that worked out nicely. That John Deere tractor was a score. Nothing wrong with it, $4, stellar item to put away for Christmas time. I am now moving on to clothing for myself. I did not really end up finding too many things for myself. I tried on a couple of things, which you will see later in this video, and ultimately I didn't bring any of the clothing items that I tried on home with me. I almost brought home one sweater, but it was just a little bit longer than I was looking for. I like length on my sweaters, but this one was just past that length point that I like. So even though I really loved the material and I loved the color blend, it did not come home with me. I always take a minute to check out their leggings. I do have a favorite type of leggings. If you have never heard of them, the colorful koala leggings are amazing. I have turned a couple of people onto them. If you are one of them, take a minute to comment below and convince everyone else that they also need them. I'll leave a link in the description box for you to those leggings. They are available on Amazon. I do sometimes find them here at Goodwill, not super often, because I am imagining that everyone else feels like they are amazing as well when they put them on, so they don't seem to get donated to thrift stores all that often, but I do always just check for them in case, because they are my #1 leggings, and the price point is really pretty good too. You can see me really mulling this one over, and here's the reason behind that. I love it. I think it's an adorable sweatshirt. Love it for the upcoming holiday season, but my hesitation was the sizing. It's just a little smaller than I was looking for. I really prefer my sweatshirts to be oversized, and this one was not going to be oversized, but I decided to just give it a try anyway, and ultimately you'll see later on I choose not to purchase it, but whoever is able to grab it, I hope they love it because it is adorable. I love sweaters, probably to an unhealthy level. I have this theory with my closet, one in, one out. And I really try to stick to this, and I was super good about it for a long time, and over the last 6 months it's been a struggle, so I'm trying to get back to it. But I purchased velvet hangers for myself about a year ago, and I decided I was going to purchase a set amount of velvet hangers, and then the idea was that I was not going to purchase any additional hangers for a couple of reasons. One, because they were expensive, and two, because I did not want to increase my clothing inventory. I have plenty of clothes, I have a decent collection, so instead what I tried to do was anytime I would bring an item in, I also needed to let an item go, so one in, one out. And like I said, did really good with that for a while. Every time I would go thrifting, if I picked up 3 items, then I would choose 3 items to let go of from my collection. And it was going really well. And then spring and summer happened, and I'm not really sure why. That's when I lost my footing with this whole system, but that's what happened. Went downhill a little bit. I had kind of a reserve of hangers in a separate area of my closet that I wasn't using, and I knew they were there, but I was intending not to take them out and put clothing on them. I ended up taking them out, and I have now used every single one of those hangers. So I have 0 hangers that are truly available unless I have dirty laundry, and then that's the only reason they're available, because the item that would hang on them is currently waiting to get washed. Oh, this is that sweater that I really liked the colorway of, but the length just ended up being a little too long. So there I am, taking it along with me, thinking I'm gonna love it, and in the end, that's not what happened. Anyway, the one in, one out theory or concept, really great, highly recommend it. Give it a try if you want to. And just know you're probably going to slip at some point, and it's not going to be a perfect situation, but you can always get back to it. So that's my goal over the next couple of months. I think I kind of have it in my head right now, but I just don't have the mental stamina to take that on and try to get back into that rhythm until my closet is done in our master bedroom area. Right now my closet it does only have my things in it, but it has a lot of extra things of mine that wouldn't typically be stored in my closet. So I'm a little overwhelmed with that area of my home because ultimately, as I've shared in some other videos, we don't have our own bedroom right now. We are camping out in Colin's bedroom, and that's a whole other story for another time. But anyway, I'm overwhelmed with my closet, so the one in, one out is not going great for me at this time, but I do plan to get back to it because it did work for me at one point, and I think it can work for me again. One struggle I have when I go to Goodwill is seeing the itty bitty baby clothes. This little 2T sweater it caught me, and it had me feeling like I wished Charlie was teeny tiny again. I would have snatched that up for her. So that's one of my downfalls. I need to just stay away from the size of clothes that my children are not in, because it just tricks me into thinking I want a 4th baby, which is not in our plans. And then it has me trying to think of, who do I know that has a little girl, or who do I know that has a little boy? So I just need to stick to looking at the clothing sizes that my children are currently in, and not being tempted by all the cute, tiny things. I spent a serious amount of time really considering this dress. I like it a lot. I don't do well with the skinny straps on dresses, shirts, what have you. It just digs into my shoulders, no matter what brand it is, size, none of that matters. It's just that thin material is too much on my shoulders. I have very sensitive shoulders when it comes to anything putting weight or pressure on them. I don't really know why that is, but I have to be really careful with the types of purses that I wear and how heavy my purses are and all that. Here I am trying those shoes on again, not trying them on again actually, just looking at them again, because I'm still really trying to make sure that if I purchase them, I'm going to wear them. They were $10, a little more than I would typically spend on a single item at Goodwill, but I am happy to report that I've already worn them once. So they are comfy, and I do enjoy them. Not comfy for a whole day, I don't think. I wore them to school today, actually. And I did not wear them all day, but I brought some flats with me, and I wore them for half the day, and I could have kept wearing them, but I had lunch duty today, and so I knew I was going to continue to be on my feet for quite some time, so I just opted to switch them out to my flats about halfway through the day. Alright, here I am trying on some clothing items. That was a no-go. This also, sadly, no-go. It fits, but it's just not that loose fit that I was looking for, so that did not go on with me. I always take a minute to look through this area. I really do not need any more home decor items or anything like that, but I always just look. I just never know what I'm going to find. I have an attraction to apples. I'm a teacher, that whole cliche thing. I didn't really want to have a love for apples, but my grandmother started purchasing me glass apples early on in my teaching career, and so she kind of made it a thing for me, and now I just roll with it. And I have lots of apples around the classroom, which I know many other teachers do as well. These could have been a great crafting item for someone. I didn't need them, but I was interested in them. This snap-on mug thing caught my attention because my husband is a mechanic by trade, and so Snap-on is a well-known name in our home. This little jar caught my attention as well. I think it's for honey. It was plastic though and not glass, and I was really hoping for glass. I went through all of these like kitchen items and really didn't think I was going to find anything. Kind of just went through it because at that point I was about 15 minutes away from closing time at Goodwill, and I just thought might as well hang out until they close at this point. But I did actually end up finding some plastic popsicle molds, so brought those home with me. After I checked out the kitchen items, I remembered that I wanted to go over to the sports gear. I never know what I'm going to find over there. My kids are all interested in sports, so if I find soccer balls or basketballs or baseballs, softballs, whatever, I grab them because we're always losing those off into the woods somewhere or something, so if I find some for cheap, I always pick them up. That arrow ended up coming home with me and going to my classroom. I wasn't planning on grabbing it, but it was only $4, and I thought, you know what, I really love gentle lighting in my classroom. This would be a super cute addition. And today is Monday when I'm doing the voiceover, and so many of my students noticed it today when they came in, so that was really sweet for them to notice it and just say, oh, I really like that, Mrs. Bishop. If you continue to spend any time on my channel in the future, you are going to learn that I'm a bit of a bag lady. I am particular about my bags, though. I really like a certain brand, MZ Wallace, so I always just check the bags while I'm at Goodwill too. Here is that beautiful arrow in my classroom, both with the light on and now with the light off. It is a fantastic addition. Okay, let's chat about the haul. I ended up picking up several things. And I spent just under $50. And I was also the last customer in Goodwill. I don't know if that's something to be proud of or my voice is being strange. So I found this little acrylic tray. I have one upstairs, but it's a little bit different than this. It's smaller, and I paid a good bit for it. So to find this one for $2 was exciting. I did end up purchasing these boots. They're quite cute. They have some wear to them, but not too bad. And ultimately, I am going to wear them and add to that wear. So grab those for $10. I was quite excited to find this John Deere tractor. Colin is a tractor lover, particularly John Deere tractors, and this one appears to be in perfect shape. I found no issues with it, and it's not battery operated, which I also appreciate, because if I can avoid having to put batteries in things, then I'm happy to do that. So I found that for him, and I'm actually going to put it away for Christmas. I am the type of mom that, oh, I wonder what that does. Play with the toys. I don't know what that was for. Anyway, I'm the type of mom that is plenty happy to find items secondhand and then gift them afterwards. And that's going to be a joy to take off. So that's going to be something for Colin for Christmas. I think I'm also going to tuck this away for Colin. So what I gather from this game, though I've not opened it yet, is that it is a game of making a pattern with these dinosaurs that are in there, and then you have various cards, and you're trying to match the correct dinosaur and the correct color and make the pattern that you see. So that is very age appropriate for 4.5-year-old Colin, and he loves dinosaurs. Feels pretty perfect to me. Also grabbed these popsicle makers. I have thought about getting these many times and never have, and so finding them today for $4 felt like a win. And then the rest of the items I grabbed were clothing items, and actually none of them are for myself. They're all for my family. So let's dive into these. I found 3 things for Charlie. I found her this little shawl thing. She had a red one when she was little, and it was a size 2T, but she wore it until she was at least 5 because shawls like this are very forgiving and can be worn for quite some time. So just found this one today and thought that is mighty cute. No idea brand or size, the tag is cut out, but that was $3. I don't see a tag anywhere else either, so yeah, but brand doesn't really matter, so that's fine. This butterfly pantsuit, again, last time when I bought myself a pantsuit, I was like, I don't think that I'm calling it the right thing. Still don't know the right thing to call it. So I don't know, this butterfly one-piece outfit, a little big for her right now, which works out because this is not something she's going to wear right now in the winter months anyway. Jenna and Jessie brand, don't know much about that, size 10, so I'm thinking this will be either for next summer or fall for her. Maybe even the summer after, because she is a petite 7-year-old. So we'll see. And then I found her this very sweet little dress-ish long shirt type thing. Probably this paired with some leggings would be super cute. Maybe even that shawl. So this is a size 8, and is something that she will start wearing now. And then I found 2 items for Eli. Love this shirt. He is a super big soccer fan, so this shirt felt like a perfect fit for him. Size 10-12 for $3. And then I found him this sweatshirt. He is forever losing sweatshirts, so I intentionally only buy that child's sweatshirts secondhand. This is Cat and Jack brand 12-14, so probably not something he's going to wear quite yet, but for $3, I don't mind putting it in our grow into bin. So that's what I got for the kids. Nothing for Colin in the way of clothing, though he's the only one that got some toys, so no one was left out. And then I got this golf material type tee for Brandon. He really likes these for work, so I enjoy this color a lot. It is coming off a little more orange on camera, but in real life, it's more of a pinkish color. So yeah, that's not really helping. But anyway, it's more of a salmony pink in person, and this was $6. And then the last item I got was that little arrow that had the lights in it that I dropped at my school already on my way home. And I love it. It looks super adorable in my classroom, and I was able to test it before I left Goodwill. I just sent an outlet near the registers and stuck it in the outlet real quick just to verify that it did light up, because that would have stunk to have bought it, and I found that it didn't work after the fact. That was only $4. So all in all, a successful trip thrifting to Goodwill. Very pleased with the items that I ended up coming home with. After digging into this game a little bit further, I verified that we have all of the cards and all of the dinosaur pieces. That's always a win. And thanks to these handy pouches, it is already all tucked away, nice and neat, in there and ready to be gifted to Colin for Christmas. If you have not seen my playroom clean out video, if you have not seen my clearing the clutter video in our playroom, I recommend you check it out. That is where I go over where I got these bags, how I use these bags. I use them for so many things in our kids' playroom, from games to organizing puzzly type activities like this to just housing littler items. They are fantastic. They hold up wonderfully. I highly recommend them. I bought extras when I did our playroom cleanup, and they're coming in handy for times like this. I already have this bag ready to go after I brought this game home from Goodwill tonight. Thank you so much for joining me on my trip to Goodwill this evening. I felt very chatty in this video, so I hope that you enjoyed all of my inner thinking, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Bye!